right, welcome to the pit. Let's see what we're gonna fill our holes with today. This is Crosoul. This is my good friend Bear here today.
What's up?
And today we're gonna be talking about a little thing that happened just recently.
All right, so recently Belle Delphine has been fired from her job at YouTube. Her entire channel has not just been demonetized, it has been completely removed.
Well, let me tell you what I think about that. Again, with a lot of artists out there, like Nicki Minaj and, a lot of provocative videos on YouTube, and yet they are not getting banned. Nobody's, getting demonetized, but Belle Delphine is. And do you know why I think that is, my man?
All right, let's hear your theory, brother.
Simps.
Yep, absolutely. So tell us more.
Simps. So let's be real. Belle Delphine was just recently on the Cold Ones. She was talking a little bit about her life, and it's just a bit of a coincidence. Like 2 days later, she gets banned off of YouTube. I don't know, man. It just seems to me like some of these guys maybe found out that she actually has a private life, and all of a sudden it's like, now it's against the standards, so they're trying to ban her. Or it could be another story what just happened to Leafy. YouTube just being YouTube, cracking down the whip. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Now, we have to go through the process of how something like that could have happened. If it was simps, it means that somehow all these simps got together and mass flagged their videos of Belle Delphine. And what are the odds that these people at YouTube haven't already seen these videos, right?
Well, yeah, you're right about that. But then again, simps already did something like that in the past. So, I kind of... Did they have the power to do it? Now, did they do it?
Now, I'm leaning towards something a little bit more sinister. You see, I think that based on what we know of those who work at YouTube, I believe that someone who works at YouTube is a simp. And he was quite disappointed to hear that Belle Delphine has spoken for.
Oh, beta simp.
Beta!
Oh, yeah, now that makes a lot more sense because, let's be real. He was paying most likely, premium tier 77, OnlyFans account over here, paying $10,000 a month. Found out that, hey, Belle Delphine is a normal person. She has a private life. Gotta go tell my mom at YouTube, to shut her down.
And you know what? It really has to be that she was never in close contact with those people at YouTube, because if you look at someone in a similar situation, Miss Pokimane, who has had basically the same exact thing happen, partially thanks to Leafy, exposing the fact that, yes, she was spoken for as well. And all the simps got mad and went after her. But here's the thing. Her channel survived, and who died in the aftermath?
Yeah, poor man Leafy. That you kind of bring that up. That's actually quite something to talk about. Leafy was one of those people, you can either like him, you can hate him. But he really did, the YouTube. He was him and his own channel. What a lot of people don't do anymore because, YouTube is cracking that whip. You can't even cuss anymore. You can't do a lot of stuff. Leafy was doing his thing. He was trying to show these simps, Pokimane, hey, she has a life, She's not a lone person living in the basement just doing these videos for people. And, he got banned for it. A lot of people think it was H3, but I don't know, man. I'm not really convinced that was...
Well, do you know what the excuse was that YouTube used to excuse their banning of him?
No, what was it?
It was a new article that they put in their terms of service saying that you cannot bully or harass anyone. And what that literally translates to is if you make more than one video about a single person with their name or their face in the thumbnail or the title of the video, then you are causing targeted harassment. Now, for some people, they've been banned for only one video with a specific person in the thumbnail or in the title. This is something that made YouTube explode years ago when people started, calling out people by name. My God, where would the entire website be if it weren't for people like Leafy specifically calling people out, like the alrighty then, let's get right, Keemstar.
Don't say his name; he's gonna sue us. But yeah, I think you're right when it comes to that. It's just with Leafy, I think it was more the fact that, unlike a lot of these other creators, they knew he was just not gonna quote unquote adapt to it. So it would be a lot easier for them to just get rid of him. And than to try to convert this man to be a Christian channel all of a sudden. It's just not gonna happen like that. I just personally think YouTube is doing this thing where they selectively pick, problematic YouTubers like Belle Delphine, Leafy, for instance. I don't know, maybe iDubbbz in the future. Filthy Frank's channel is only up because it's dead, let's be real.
Yeah.
And I just think they're trying to get rid of them and trying to introduce this, family-friendly platform.
Yeah, and the it's not SOPA, it's not PIPA, it's one of the other bits of legislation which has basically spanked YouTube on its rear end, saying you cannot market anything towards children and get money for it. So something you got to keep in mind is that the YouTube also now has a vested interest in keeping children-aimed channels demonetized to the best of their ability so they don't accidentally fall into something.
Right. Well, when it comes to that Leafy, being banned for bullying videos, I mean, do you understand how many videos of theirs, like when people bully politicians like Donnie Trump, good boy Donnie, and other celebrities? I mean, like, come on, man. Like, people been bullying people for ages. Let's be real. It's not like Leafy was the only person to do it. Even H3 made quote-unquote bullying videos, right?
Well, he still does. His most recent one was against Jeremy or The Quartering, and it's an hour long.
Well, yeah, man. Even Keemstar was telling some old grandpa he was like a pedophilian, right? I don't know, man. Like, to me, it just seems like, again, it's exactly what I think it is, that they're like isolating those quote unquote problematic YouTubers and people that they know are not gonna convert to their new terms and services and stuff.
Right, and you know what's funny is that bullying has its place in society.
Yeah, I agree.
I won't tell you how many siblings I have, but I have enough to where I was the youngest boy. And I got a whole lot of bullying from them. And if it wasn't for them, I would be a little piece of shit.
Hey, I agree, man. Like, I was the new kid in school in different countries, like, not just, locally. It's just one of those things like, hey, bullying it's a terrible thing, you should not do it. But then again, who can really say that they have never been bullied or have never said, like, oh, man, that guy sucks, in their life? Because, that's what people do. Now, the difference is Leafy made a video about it, but it was still comedy,
Exactly.
It was funny. Like, I just don't think, like, honestly, if you don't want something like that out there, just don't look at it, man. It's a video. Turn it off, bro.
Exactly.
It's just like a point of view. I just don't see the difference between, let's see, a Leafy video or, I don't know, like an old-fashioned Dave Chappelle video, for instance. Like, everybody's seen it, everybody loves it. I just don't understand it. Like, personally, again, I just think it is what it is. They're targeting the people who don't want to convert, and that's that.
Yeah, you got a point there. It's easier to get rid of them than to face up to the fact that YouTube is supposed to be about you, not them.
Right. And now the new face of YouTube was like, what was it? Last rewind was Will Smith?
Yeah, that's hot. Oh, that's hot.
Yeah. Was it Will Smith?
Yeah, it was Will Smith.
Yeah, it was Will Smith, man. Like,
so talking about Leafy, really he was one of the last real YouTubers where he basically did whatever he wanted. He didn't sell out to anybody except for all the times he sold out. But I would really call him the last of the real YouTubers, except for one man.
Well, yeah, Charlie, Moist Critical, however you want to call him, Penguins, Like, let's be real, to this day, my boy is keeping strong. He only makes that content that he wants. And honestly, he's one of the most, I would use the word wholesome, but he does cuss and all that stuff, which doesn't really bother me. But yeah, I'm going to use the word wholesome person out there,
I mean, and he's like really generous, but he's got this thing that's like been bugging me for a while, right? So right. He and Belle Delphine are battling each other for certain kinds of world records. Oof.
Yeah. And guess what, guys? We might have something, about that. We do have our own little thing going where everybody knows, Charlie, Moist Critical. Everybody knows that guy. Real cool dude, amazing. But there is one record that Charlie has not broken that me and my good boy over here will break soon.
That's right.
And if you guys want to know more about that, it's going to be a little harder to make. We're expecting like a month, maybe a month and a half in making. But it is going to be a world record.
So, Charlie, Belle Delphine, every one of you guys involved in this record, we're coming for you.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you dare think that we're sleeping on you. We are coming for you, and we are creating our very own record. Belle's got hers. Charlie, you've got yours. But I am telling you right now, mark my words, we are coming for you.
That's
over
right.
and over again.
That is correct. Because, here in the pit, the hole has to be filled, man. Take it as a little hint. Wink, wink, if you know what I mean. But it has to be filled. And we are going to get this record. There's a few people who know what we're talking about. Some people might see it a little earlier. But a week from now on, we are going to introduce our Patreon. So if you want a little bit of, sneak peek behind what we are going to do, we were going to post it on our Facebook page, Crosoul's Pit. So again, if you're interested just to see what a little thing is, keep an eye out. In 1 week, it's going to be posted out there.
That's right.
So yeah, what do you really think about this, demonetization and everything? How do you think how is the internet status like in your eyes? Can you really be you these days?
I'll put it this way. If you recall when you were a kid, maybe this was different in your countries.
Yeah, the 17 I'm from.
Yeah, exactly. But over here, we had cable. You could choose Cox. You could choose things that aren't called Cox. You got your Dish Network and your cable with what is Spectrum now. It used to be Bright House.
Right, Bright House.
And you had these packages, and you'd buy them, and then you'd sit down and watch TV. If you couldn't make something, maybe you'd record it with the VCR, or you record it with the TiVo after that came out.
Right.
And every single show was 22 minutes, and it had, you were allowed one S word, and you were not allowed to do any F words unless you were on like midnight on Comedy Central or something. And you had all these rules and regulations that you had to follow, and all the money was filed into the hands of a very few wealthy billionaires who were in charge of the whole shebang.
Right.
Then the internet came out, and then everybody could do whatever the hell they wanted. The first question we asked, can you fuck it? And the answer was yes.
Yes, you could. And see, that is an interesting thing, like, I had a satellite dish as a kid, right? So we were talking about, me and my friend were just like, maybe point a little this way. Now you have this Swedish TV. We don't speak Swedish, but hey, you got it. And that was really fascinating to see, like, other countries said, when it came to that, like in Germany, when we were, staying there. Germany, you could say a lot of stuff on TV. They could cuss a lot more than we can down here. They would get away with it. And quite honestly, if you never watched German SpongeBob, and, if you understand German, watch an episode and just look at what Squidward is saying about Santa, calling him an obese burglar, and he's going to call the cops on. We don't get that down here. And that was the beauty. So when we actually got, YouTube was big. So, and the thing is, like, back in the old, do you remember when you first time saw Filthy Frank?
Oh my God, that was a glorious moment.
Do you remember that? You saw, like, man, this man is cooking tacos, like, but with rats in it.
That day, my pubes stood on end and glowed a golden hue like a Super Saiyan. It was an amazing moment.
Look, I agree. Like, and now again, we are at this point where the biggest platform out here, if you want to make it, is YouTube, and now YouTube is enforcing all these rules. How long do you personally think it's gonna be until we actually replace YouTube with something that's actually gonna be you? You know, not this fake stuff.
Well, let me continue on the cycle and the story of what happened. So the internet came out, and then people were trying to do things like post their own messages on message boards, and they were able to talk to people immediately from across the world without having to pay anything except for dial-up or your internet service.
Right.
And then these two brothers, I believe, maybe they're just friends, but these two guys film themselves making a dick joke at the zoo, and they decide, you know what, there's not a good place for us to post this, so we're going to make our own website. That website was YouTube. Yes, the first YouTube video created by the creators was a dick joke.
That's exactly right. A dick joke. The whole site made after a dick joke now wants to be... I mean, I'm not even going to call it a Christian channel, because let's be real, it's not. It's pretty much about like, oh, am I going to get offended by this man sneezed? Where I'm from, he insulted my relatives. You have to take it down.
Yep.
You know, it's come to the point where anybody can point fingers, and YouTube is not, they're not this heart and soul. Somebody points fingers, delete. We are deleting.
Exactly.
That's pretty much what it is.
And how did it get this way?
I don't know, man. Like, I personally think that, when the lady in charge now, let's be real, let's not say no names, Susie, everything really is about this image. Like, it's not about you and YouTube anymore. It's about me. It's about her and YouTube, right?
Exactly.
She only wants to see stuff that she wants to see. She forgets that this website was there to, again, to be you on the website. It was not about like, man, if it was about me and you, you know what kind of channels would be on there, am I right?
my goodness, hide your kids and hide your wife. But so how it started was with such pure intentions. We just want to put videos up online with like two simple rules. One, no nudity, so no sexual conduct on this website.
Right.
And then it didn't say anything about cursing. It was basically against doxing. Just don't do illegal things, and no. That was the total extent of it. And what happened was they had run this website for so long. More and more people keep adding more and more videos. It keeps getting more and more popular. It ends up being enthralled in a battle between YouTube and Google Videos, and YouTube, of course, wins. But the problem is that YouTube is paying for all these servers, and they aren't getting money. So they decided to introduce monetization.
Right.
Not necessarily to the creators yet. They just start putting commercials onto videos and on the side banners and stuff. And people start to not like it. So they decide, all right, so now we'll start paying the channels to have these commercials on. And that works for a while.
Right. I mean, see, look, I personally think the formula that you set, right, is crucial. You said no nudity, correct? And no doxing. Now the question is, we have the formula. Why does nobody create the recipe and make another old YouTube? The problem is mainstream. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If me and you would make our own site today, right? Tell people about it. How many people do you think we will have?
We might get 30. And you know how it's going to spread? It's going to be some weird fuckers on 4chan, which, by the way, I am of your people. I am Pakistani. Get off my ass, brothers.
Right.
But you know who you are.
Right. 4chan. 4chan is one of those places you have to hate and love at the same time.
It's like a good cousin.
Right. Yeah. He's gonna come up uninvited and unshowered, undressed a lot of times. But at the same time, when you need him, it's kind of there.
Damn right.
Let's be real, it's kind of there.
Well, that's the good point, and really someone needs to come out there and eventually make their own website where people can put their own videos and their posts on there, and have it be relatively unchecked. Only moderation you need is no nudity and no illegal stuff such as doxing. Pretty simple.
Man, aren't you guys in luck? Because we might actually have something like that coming up soon.
Oh,
Maybe. Hey. fingers crossed. Give us maybe like 3-4 months to polish it, but something will be coming out. Now, on the topic of demonetization and all that horrible stuff, he already gave you a perfect lecture about the history of YouTube and all of that stuff. Let's talk something about good old Netflix.
Yeah, let's talk about people who should be demonetized.
Like, what do you guys think personally about the movie Cuties, right? I know it's like old news at this point, but I don't know who sat down, watched that garbage, and was like, man, you know what? I needed to be told this message, so now I know that I should not be sexualizing 10-year-olds, right?
And how do we get this message again?
Yeah, by sexualizing the kids, man.
Oh wow,
Like,
that's so profound. It's so liberating for women.
yeah, that's like Crosoul and L1ttleBear coming to your house, beating the crap out of you, making a video of it, and to show you, man, we really should not be doing this. And now you're laying down there, all broken, and you're like, thanks, guys, this movie really made my, now I know I shouldn't be beaten up anymore.
Although that at least could be hilarious. Number one,
OnlyFans, we charge for that.
There you go. And it wouldn't be exploiting children. So there's two things much better about that idea than the actual film Cuties.
Well, we already beat Cuties, man. Did you see that? Just the old-fashioned brawl beats Cuties, man. And again, on the topic with Netflix,
okay, I got the title for the fucking video.
What is it?
Ding Dong Bitch.
Oh, I understand. Instead of Ding Dong Ditch, Ding Dong, yeah. We come to your door, don't peek through the hole. Be a man, open the door. You hear a bell, you open it. Full force. No peeking through a little keyhole, no peeking through nothing.
No peek over the blinds, shift them around.
It's like a modern version of Russian roulette.
There you go.
Like, you just open the door, and if you get snatched, you get snatched. It's supposed to happen.
Is it a Mormon, or is it these two fuckers on the internet?
You never know. That's the beauty of it.
And here's the best way to do it, though. You got to terrorize just one house. That's it. It's the same guy over and over again.
Until he saws the video. Again, Cutie's mentality. If he sees the video, he will understand now. Hey, man, I shouldn't be beaten. That's the whole point.
There you go.
And honestly, like, jokes aside, the mentality behind that is really insane. Like, somebody actually praising that movie for saying, like, oh, it took courage to make that type of, like, come on, man. Like, again, I do not need to be told that I should not break into somebody's house, or that you should not be a rapist. Nobody needs to make a rape like a snuff film for me to understand that it's bad. You know what
really took courage about Cuties? The fact that their names are in the credits, the creators, and the fact that no one has done things to them yet is quite frankly shocking, and I'm upset at France for once again pussing out and not no, come on, we got to do an old-fashioned Mississippi style limit. Get these guys out of here. No one likes these creators, so why are they still around?
Yeah, I mean,
they're probably being protected by American Hollywood money, so
oh,
if we could cut off California, and you know what, New York, while we're at it, let's cut New York and California off of the contiguous U.S., just saw them off, and then we'll be better for it.
I mean, see, wasn't Hollywood revolving on some type of pizza gig recently? Something with cupboards and stuff like that going around. I forgot the story. But it was somebody was selling kids, right?
Yeah.
And then accidentally, right after that, they had this scandal with the pizza, right? I forgot what it was all about.
I can't remember what the name of the website is. If you guys can remind us.
It was a Walmart site, wasn't it?
No, it was another. It was something like Walmart or like IKEA, where you could sell furniture and stuff like that. And the prices on these things would go up exponentially when they were quote unquote out of stock. But they would always have in the title of the thing the name of
missing kids
of someone, and it always turned out to be a missing kid. So the idea is that this is a secret black market where you can sell kids. Now, do you want to know the real story, or do you want to keep down that crazy road?
I know the real story. I know why they did the implantations and stuff. They were doing it until the stock was actually refilled, so they would put one up for super high, so they never ran out. And that was the whole shenanigan behind it. I'm just saying, it's convenient that happened, and then the pizza thing actually,
Yeah.
It was not even a month apart. They were actually said like, oh, a lot of these
Well-
Hollywood people were involved, and
Well, I mean, the Pizza was like 2016, 2017, so it was a while ago when that really happened.
was it?
Yeah, it was a while ago, and Pizza, for those of you guys who don't know about it, it is the looking at the emails sent between Podesta and Hillary Clinton and her campaign and stuff like that, and all these big, high-ranking Democrats who were sending weird messages between each other, and one of them, like one of these threads, just kept talking about pizza, specifically cheese pizza, and of course they shortened that to CP, which is the same acronym for something else that would get you decked in my household.
Right. See, again, we don't want to promote any of this stuff here. You know, we just
Don't listen to us, fat folks. Don't-
we're just talking about like, you know, something's really weird happening. You know, these days you can go outside. You know, if Corona doesn't kill you, somebody with a bat might. You know,
Oh my god, dude! I've met so many people who think that birds are real.
birds are not real.
Dude, what? They can't fool us. Come
No,
on.
birds are not. Fucking
I just had a turkey for Thanksgiving, and you know what it was?
What was
It was a spy.
exactly? Of
It,
course.
it was just a camera and microphone.
Right. The birds are not real, man. Like, come on. Can you believe something that can fly on its own?
No.
Stupid. Come on, man. Let's be real. Magic, birds, one of those is real. All right. Now, what we like to do, you know, towards our end of our little podcast, we like to do one of those fuck you shout outs, you know? And the fuck you shout out, personally, I would like to give like a, you know, like a massive steaming fuck you to what was that guy named from the pedophile from Nickelodeon?
Oh, Dan Schneider. Fuck you,
Yeah.
Dan Schneider.
Why-
How
why-
fucking dare you? Fuck you, Dan Schneider. And Josh Peck's dad. Josh Peck, you seem like a great guy, but your dad is a fucking pedophile. Just what you did to Ariana Grande, Mr. Schneider, if that is your real name, what you did to her, making her turn from a normal, fine, ordinary teenage girl into what she is today, which is not empowering, not strong, and it's kind of racist how she made her skin tone that much darker. I blame everything wrong in her life on you.
But then I suggest a trade-off. If we had some cosmic power, like, man, Cthulhu, where are you at? Listen, we're giving you Dan Schneider and Josh's dad. You give us back maybe like either Elvis or maybe Mr. Bruce Lee.
Oh,
you know, hey,
Bruce Lee.
Khabib just, you know, vacant his title. Bruce Lee could fill in the gap. He's a little bit of a lightweight. What do you think about that? I think that would be perfect.
I think that Bruce Lee could kick everyone's ass on the planet except for Chuck Norris.
Well, of course. I mean, we've seen that.
Hold on, but if Bruce Lee was in the octagon right now
Wait, shit,
against,
didn't Bruce Lee beat fucking Chuck Norris in Return of the Dragon?
yeah, it was a movie though. You know, Bruce Lee didn't know judo until Chuck Norris taught it to him. He didn't know how to grapple at all until Chuck Norris taught him.
Right.
So this is pretty good. But if Bruce Lee was right now in the octagon against, pick someone at random, Joe Rogan, I think that Bruce Lee would win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how old Joe is now, but again, let's see. We were speculating like Bruce Lee comes back, you know, like in his like what 30s, you know, like top fit.
You know what? Joe Rogan's in his 40s. I'll say Bruce Lee in his 40s. Say minus the medication.
Right. Oof. I don't know, man. I still think Bruce Lee would definitely win, man. I just don't.
I think it would be close.
I mean, Rogan does Taekwondo from what
But he also does BJJ, which is a little bit tougher. And I think that if Bruce Lee hadn't done enough training with grappling, then he might lose. But
Bruce
I think
Lee
it'd be
would
a
lose
close
to
one.
Khabib. That's the thing. But
Okay.
Khabib is now gone, you know.
Yeah?
And I don't know. Bruce Lee seems like he could be a really good striker.
Well, would Bruce Lee be welterweight or lightweight?
I think it will definitely be welterweight. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't
yeah.
think I think he's like 135.
Who
Right?
do you know who has the title for welterweight right now?
No. Again, Khabib awakened his title, and well, I don't know who's fighting for it. I think it was maybe Gaji. No, was it
I
Justin? But no. Justin lost to Khabib. So
Yeah, that's right. So
I got no clue. I actually do not know who is gonna be holding that title. But you know what we hope it will be? Bruce Lee.
that's right. It's going to be fucking Bruce Lee. So, in conclusion, fuck you, Dan Schneider.
And Josh's dad.
Fuck you both.
Yeah, fuck you. You're a piece of shit. You know, like you're a fine piece of work, man. Like, and whatever you fucking do right now, I hope you get a paper cut tomorrow.